Hey there, welcome to the Pawpaw Chronicles. You know, on a day like today, it's rainy, it's dreary. I can't really get out and do the things that I like to do out into the yard and working on trees, which, by the way, I have quite a few trees, most of you already know. But on days like today, I get on social media, look at different pages, and the pages that I mostly look at are Pawpaw Facebook pages. There's 6 of them, by the way. Excuse me. That being said, a lot of questions come up whenever I'm on Facebook, and I had posted a video, the last video, matter of fact, and I shared that video on different Pawpaw pages, and somebody had posted a question about the trees that I had uh, in a posting. First off, uh, 2 of those trees, about 7 years old, they were seedlings that I bought 3 years ago from a Amish uh, tree farmer, and one of those trees was a root sucker I dug up in 2018, which I've covered on a previous video. That being said, a lot of people have questions about how to care for these trees. A lot of emphasis is put on tap roots and all that. And I'll show you one little tree I have here. It's a little pawpaw, and let's see if I can pronounce the word correctly. Asimina Triloba. That little tree right there was a result of a tree that I had grafted, and the graft did not take. So I elected to go ahead and cut this piece off where the graft was and allow it to come back. It came back from the root, as you all can see, and it came back pretty healthy. But I don't know if you can see that or not, but right there is where I cut that stem off, and a little stem grew from the side of that, and that tree is still alive. It's been out here in the yard collecting rainwater. I got some other ones back here behind me, and that was just something that I wanted to cover and talk to you about. Is what is a pawpaw? Well, a pawpaw is a fruit that came from the United States. The tree originally is from North America. It's the most northern grown tree as far as tropical tree, in my opinion. They look very, very tropical. And for the most part, a lot of people have always thought of pawpaws as being an understory tree, meaning it was in the forest, down in the woods, along riverbanks, along swamps and stuff like that. And over the years, people have cultivated some of them pawpaws and done some things with them as far as breeding programs and stuff. And the one thing that I wanted to bring out is, as you know, mine are out in full sun. I have a few of them that's in shaded area, partially shaded area. And the one thing one of the people had asked about is they noticed my trees in full sun, and they were confused at how do you protect them and all that. Well, follow the YouTube channel and look at some of my videos, and you can see what it is that I'm up to. Now, as far as the fruit is concerned, I have one right here. It's a pawpaw fruit, and it's getting soft, which means I'm going to have to get it ate. I'm going to harvest the seed out of that fruit, and I'm going to germinate some more pawpaws. I've got a total of 340 seeds so far in the refrigerator, getting them ready for stratification. And that being said, you can also go on to the YouTube page, and you can see what stratification is. But you see the black blotches on there? That does not hurt the inside of that fruit. That's some type of a fungus, which I could not tell you the name of it, that gets on some pawpaws. And I have another one right here, just a little tiny spot, but it's pretty clean. And this here's a 5.9 ounce pawpaw. and you notice this in here is bigger. I'd say this in here is probably about a 7.5 ounce pawpaw. And I'm going to set them to the side right here. Now, you get different sizes in pawpaws. And by the way, I've shared pictures of one that I've eaten that was, 14.1 ounce, I believe it was. And it was delicious. And people talk about seed and stuff like that, and seed ratio. I collect the seeds. The bigger pawpaws, those seeds I've kept separated from the other seeds of the pawpaws. Like this one right here will be just seeds set aside to germinate and try to grow rootstock for grafting. And the jumbo seeds I set aside, those are going to be grown out as seedlings. And those seedlings, by the way, will be the seedlings that I will sell through my nursery that I'm just recently getting started. I have probably about 200 seedlings out there in the pawpaw pen right now, and those are, some have been selected for grafting next year, but for the most part, the rest of them, I'll probably grow a few of them out for grafting the following season, give them time to grow, and then some will end up being sold as seedlings. That being said, I just wanted to share with you and talk to you about pawpaws. You know, like I said, they're an understory tree. They'll grow in the forest, they'll grow in the woods, but when they're grown in the forest and grown in the woods in their natural habitat, it takes an extremely long time to get fruit out of those trees. I found the ones that I had in the shaded area up by my driveway, I had one there for probably 12 years, and it would flower, but it would not produce fruit. Fruit sets would come out and they'd fall off. So what I had elected to do one year is open up the canopy, and I started cutting trees out of the way to bring light into that pawpaw. And wouldn't you know it, the first full season of that pawpaw, I was so loaded with pawpaws in that tree that I had to cut some of them out of there. So sunlight plays a big factor as far as producing fruit. And the ones I have in the open, when they start producing fruit, I imagine they'll probably do very well as far as producing fruit. They're out in the open, and that's the reason why they're out in the open, because I know that what's out in the open, you're going to get fruit at an earlier stage than what's down in the woods. And another thing I've noticed about the pawpaws in the woods compared to out in the open, what's out in the open has much more foliage. They're fuller, they look good, in my opinion, very tropical looking, and they stand out when they're looking at them out in the yard because they look out of place. They don't look like they belong here, but they do. Like I said, it's an American fruit. I don't think any other country had pawpaws until man settled here in the United States and got into them. Lewis and Clark had to survive on them whenever they were returning back from their trip. Washington enjoyed them. Jefferson enjoyed them. You know, my uncle, he enjoys them, and he's got a nice orchard that he has been gracious enough to allow me to come and harvest, because mine hasn't really gotten to the size to where I'm going to get the harvest that he's got. But one day they will. And it's just a little tree that I have come to love and to care for. And as a lot of you may have seen in my videos, I guess you can say I've been blessed with good ground. The ground that I have here, the pawpaws have really, really taken off in the ground that I have here. And I've got a total of 28 trees out in the yard in full open sun. Got 17 out back, 3 of them over there, 6 of them over there, and a few of them up that way. And they're in full sun, and that's the reason why they're in full sun. But I hope that everybody is doing well, and hope everybody's being kind to one another. And y'all keep sharing them pictures on them pages and keep sharing your postings because they're interesting to look at. But anyways, just something that I wanted to share and talk to you about. I'm going to get ready to eat these 2 pieces of pawpaw fruit, and my mouth was watering waiting to get a hold of them. Anyways, my name's Jim. If you like what you see, subscribe. Don't forget to click on that bell for notifications. Any comments or questions that you may have, I welcome them. Y'all have a God bless day.